Hello there, friends and followers from around the world, and welcome to this Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for today's show, and finally, the internet issues in Kuwait have been subsided, and I'm glad to be back here and streaming live from Kuwait. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the Aerosoft Twin Otter for MSFS, and this aircraft is an aircraft that I'm quite familiar with from P3D, and I do apologize for my voice. I'm not feeling too well today, but this stream has been long scheduled, and I had to reschedule, then I had to cancel it, so I do apologize for that, and I want to welcome you guys to the stream. Chicago Skyhawk, welcome. Enver, Mind the Attitude, and Pav Nav, hello from France. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Glad to have you with us today on this live stream. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a full review of this aircraft. I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on the aircraft. We're going to be taking a look, of course, at the 3D modeling, at the texture work, and we're going to be taking it for a short flight from Edinburgh to Glasgow in Scotland. That is right, we are Logan Air today, and let's begin by taking a look at the aircraft 3D modeling. Now, in terms of the 3D model, as you can see, it is a very authentic representation of the Twin Otter. The use of PBR, quite nice, shiny material there, and really they've done a very good job with the texture work and everything that is to do with the 3D model. And so my friend Rafi is watching the stream. Hello, Rafi, and welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel, my friend. I'm glad that you are watching from the city of Kuwait. Welcome. So if we look at the 3D modeling here, it is absolutely fantastic in terms of texture work. Again, Aerosoft have really cemented their position as one of the leading developers for the Microsoft platform with their CRJ and now the Twin Otter. As you can see here, the area underneath the wing, the flaps, they look just absolutely fantastic. Very, very nice texture work, 3D modeling, both, by the way, inside and out. Nice details, and I love the details on the aircraft fuselage. As you can see over here, the tires, they look very nice. And of course, the reflected material as far as the glass is concerned, reflective glass, and the engines here. Everything just looks absolutely gorgeous in terms of the exterior 3D model and the texture work. Scott, hello, my friend, and welcome. Glad you could make it, and thank you very much for your support. If we hop into the interior of this cockpit of this airplane, you can see the 3D cockpit again is quite representative of the Twin Otter, and I have consulted real-world footage of the aircraft, and this looks very, very similar to what you'd see in a real Twin Otter. You can see the panel work. Again, the inside of the aircraft is outstanding. They really have done a good job modeling everything, texturing everything. You can see the details here alongside this panel. Really fine work in terms of the textures. Now, this aircraft, I would not call it a study level aircraft, but it is a nice airframe to fly. It is, for me, I don't know if you folks feel the same way, but when I fly the Twin Otter or the Kodiak or any other aircraft, they all feel the same to me in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think the flight dynamics are pretty similar. I'm not sure if this is due to the similarity of the actual aircraft, or that is, there is a limitation in the flight sim in terms of modeling how those aircraft actually fly, but they all fly the same. Chris, Hello, my friend. Jamie, welcome. Danny Roots, hello, my friend. Greetings from Wisconsin, USA. Well, hello, my friend, and welcome. Glad to have you here. Paul, welcome, my friend, from Australia. Hello there, my friend, and welcome. Did you get the latest patch? No, I don't think I got it. And I noticed that there is a problem when you hit the escape button and come back. It would turn off the fuel pump, fuel levers. But yeah, Duncan, hello, my friend, and welcome. I'm definitely very excited to be here finally after all the internet issues. So yeah, glad to be here. Micah, hello, my friend. Welcome from Peru. Hello, my friend, and welcome. It's a nice plane, but the engine sounds, yes, the exterior engine sounds are just really not very well done, and we'll get to that as soon as we take off. Jonathan, hello, my friend, and welcome. You should review it with the patch, sir. Well, I haven't really received a notification that there is a patch, so that's okay, and we will fly this aircraft in the future. But this is my first impression, and it's representative of how the aircraft was shipped to the community out of the box. I didn't have a lot of time due to the internet issues. I wasn't able to download anything. I wasn't even able to start Microsoft Flight Simulator in the past week or so due to the internet problems in Kuwait. But all's good now. Bruno, hello, my friend, and welcome. Arjun Sim, hello, my friend from Argentina. Hello, my friend. We've got pilot Sabine. Hello, my friend. So here we go. So if we look at the cabin work, the texture work is again pretty good. I think the sounds overall, the cockpit sounds and the sounds of the interior of the aircraft is done quite well. If we look down here, there's a click spot here to open the door, if I can find it, right there. Again, nice sounds. There you go. So overall, I think the sounds inside the cockpit are pretty good. And the texturing of the passenger cabin. Now, this aircraft comes in a lot of variants. There's the cargo variant and the passenger variants. So there are a lot of different variants you can use. Again, no control panel. The only aircraft that I've seen with a proper control panel is the Just Flight aircraft. It's the only one that has a control panel that you can manipulate, and the CRJ by Aerosoft. This one doesn't have it, and most of the aircraft do not have an electronic flight bag or the iPad. And you cannot change deliveries on the fly either. And I believe, just based on what I've seen, this is a limitation of the SDK in Microsoft Flight Simulator, because it's just the case with all the aircraft that has shipped for MSFS. The Sim Pilot, hello, my friend. Passenger door wind sound is super loud, and it's not the same when you open the pilot door. Yeah, there are a lot of issues with the sound. I'm not sure if they're fixed in the latest patch, but this is what has shipped to the community on day one. And yeah, so overall, I think it's okay. If we look here at the overhead panel, again, fairly well modeled. Texture work is quite nice. We can have look here, and you can see the fuel levers here, the props, the throttle. Everything really modeled very nice in terms of the texturing. Now the sounds, by the way, are also pretty good. So if we click here, and we have a new, Mr. Don, 7-month member of the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking, my friend. Duncan. A member for 1 year. Thank you, Duncan, so very much for your support, my friend. Appreciate it. 1 month, 12 months, 1 year, a VVIP member of the Q8 Pilot channel. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much. Now the sounds inside the cockpit are quite nice. You can hear this, and they are custom sounds, so not all the sounds are the same. So the different switches have different sounds, which is something I have appreciation for. So I think, and I'm not sure if they've recorded those sounds from the real aircraft, but they do sound pretty good to me. Again, if we remove the control lock here, again, you can hear really nice sounds. I really like the sounds overall of the cockpit. The buttons, the switches, they sound pretty good. The only thing, which is, to me, is the most important thing, is the engine sounds, and they don't sound very good, to be honest, especially from the exterior view. But we'll take a look at that later on during our flight. So overall, in terms of the 3D modeling, the texturing, both the exterior and interior, I think Aerosoft has done a very good job. And I do, if I compare this to their P3D version, I do like the P3D version slightly more, especially when it comes to the way it flies, the way the aircraft flies. It just feels like it's more realistic as far as I'm concerned. But that's my opinion, that's my experience with the aircraft. But in terms of the looks and feel, in terms of the looks and the graphics and the modeling, definitely this one looks far more superior than the P3D counterpart. Again, we can click here to remove the flight control, the yokes, and we are now ready to fly. So let's go ahead and take a look at. Oh, it's going to ask me to. All right, let's do that. Let me do this real quick. My user ID and my password. All right. All right, let's load the flight plan. All right. So here's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be departing Edinburgh, runway 24, through the Jury 3 Charlie departure, and we're going to go to, I guess it's the Grice, and then the first waypoint is Grice. We're going to fly direct to Glasgow, and we're going to arrive at runway 23. And this is an ILS runway, I believe. Let's go ahead and click here. All right, we set this. Right, there we go. All right. All right, if we click here on Glasgow and we go to the approach, and this is the approach there. Yeah. So platform altitude is 2,900 feet. 2,900 feet. And the ILS frequency is 110.1. Approach course is 228 degrees. And if we look at the weather real quick, let me close this here. Really appreciate the amazing streams. I just remember starting my first flight on XP and being so overwhelmed. Then I found a Q8 tutorial and followed every step. Thanks to you, I was able to fly. Oh, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate your kind comment. Tango Whiskey Simulations. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the stream. All right. So if we look at the first, let's look at the weather conditions at the departure airport, Echo Papa Golf Hotel. So at Edinburgh, if we look at the weather information at Edinburgh is as follows. The wind is 240 degrees at 25 knots, gusting 37. Woof. Broken clouds at 1300 AGL, Visibility is at least 10 kilometers. Current temperature is 10 Celsius. Humidity is 82. QNH is 29907. Departing runway is 24. And we have about, 25 knot wind. Everything else is good. If we look at the runway length, by the way, runway 24 is 2,556 meters. The width of this runway is 46. It's an asphalt runway. Heading of the runway is 60 degrees true. And then the crosswind is calm, headwind 25 knots. So we should be fine for our departure. Okay, so we're good to here. Let's go ahead and get things started. And we're going to go to the checklist. And before start checklist, now one thing I believe maybe this is fixed in the patch. If you click on the eye, it doesn't really take you to anything. So you're just going to have to know where things are. So the control lock has been removed. A parking brake is right here, and it is set. Emergency fuel switches on normal. They are right here. The fuel selectors are on normal. Let me just say tick, tick. Fuel selectors are normal. Fuel boost pumps are off. They are right here. The cabin lights and signs are set. Position light is on. To do this, so we can come right here, and this is the position light. Pitot heat is turned off. The pitot heat is right here. And the generators are off right here. Flaps are up. Fuel levers are off. Propeller levers full forward. Now, I know for a fact that this is not correct. And I know that in P3D, at least, those need to go to this position here to start the engine, and then they go to max for takeoff. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them right here and tick that. Power levers to idle and ignition normal. DC source and master, we can head back here and turn those on. Again, really nice sounds. Tick the item. Fuel quantity is checked, and the before starting checks is complete. And now we're going to go for the engine start checklist. Now, to start the engine is actually pretty simple, and so we are going to go to the right engine first, and we're going to introduce, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. And we're going to wait for the engine to stabilize, and all right, so we're good there. Starter is engaged. Right oil pressure is checked. Right NG. Right fuel lever on. Starter center. After fuel boost pump is on. This is the after fuel boost pump right there. It's turned on. And we take that. Starter engage left. Alright, so let's go now to the... there we go. Start. Starter check. Left oil pressure check is rising, which I know it is. Alright, we're going to introduce fuel. Gibby! Hello there, my friend, and welcome, the Sim Pilot. How are you doing, my friend? Alright, oil pressure, oil is that is good. Starter is center, and we need to turn on the forward boost fuel pump. And after check is complete. Alright, now we can go to the overhead panel. And let's see here. We can turn on, by the way, the emergency light needs to be on. And non-smoking, fasten seatbelt sign, anti-collision lights, pitot heat generators, turn all of that good stuff. Fleet air is turned on as well, and everything here is checked, and we are good to go. Taxi checklist. Next, brakes and gyro and turn. This is perfectly okay, and we can now just come here and we can push back out of our position. To do this, we are going to hold the pushback truck and start push. Why is the engine not running here? Let's see. That's the right engine. That real? Looks like it is, yeah. Not sure what the tow truck is doing. Alright, here we go. Alrighty, and hold, stop the pushback, set the parking brake, and we're all good. Alright, so our flight plan is already loaded. We are going to set our altitude to 8,000 feet. By the way, the final cruise altitude for our flight today is a short flight to Glasgow, and the QNH is set to 2997 for 1015. We're going to come back here, set this to GPS, and we are good to go. And now remove this here, and we can turn on our taxi lights. So taxi light is turned on, and we can put this on auto, and we're good to go. Parking brake released, and let's go. Gary, how are you doing, my friend? I'm doing absolutely great. Gotta love the smoothness of Microsoft Flight Simulator after Sim Update 7, and yeah, I think it is it's very smooth. I'm not sure if you guys are experiencing any stuttering in the simulator or on the screen now because of the stream, but as far as my experience in this sim, it's actually pretty good. There is no stuttering, there is no jittering as you turn. Just really fantastic in terms of the performance. So I'm planning a lot more content for the coming days, and yeah, we're going to be doing some X-planes, some P3D flights. I'm actually looking forward to doing the P3D flights. We haven't done any P3D for quite some time, so I'm kind of looking forward to those. Let me see here where we're going. Alright, so that's the runway right there. So yeah, definitely I'm going to be doing some P3D videos in the days to come. And we are going to probably do the PMPG 747 in the coming days, which I'm very excited about. field. I think it looks pretty good. Oh, I did not update my night bucket plans today. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the night bucket plans will probably not show the correct, but I'll tell you what, I will include everything in terms of the departure airport, arrival airport, all of that in the video description once the stream is over. I do apologize for that. I had a lot to take care of this evening to get this stream up and running. Let's see here. Where am I going? I think we should have gone the other way. So we get to tour the airport here at Edinburgh. I have been to Edinburgh and to Glasgow for that matter, and both are beautiful places to visit. If you're ever in the greater United Kingdom, I highly recommend that you visit Scotland. The weather in Scotland is probably pretty cold during winter time, but it is a lovely place to visit. There are a lot of fish farms. If you like fish, they've got, I think in Glasgow, they have a lot of fish farms. They've got strawberry picking, some really cool activities to do with the kids. So if you're ever in the area, be sure to check Edinburgh and Glasgow out for some great fun with the family, beautiful weather, and you probably get some delicious fish and chips as well. Alright, here we go. We're going to just make a final stop before we return onto the runway and do our final before takeoff checklist. The engine sounds are a bit loud. This is one of the problem fixed by the update. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Plane sounds are louder than your voice. Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Let me adjust that now. Alright, let's bring the aircraft to a stop here. Set the parking brake, and let's see here. Let's go to the general options, and we're going to go to sounds and aircraft engines. Let's bring this back down here to maybe 40%. Apply and save. Resume. I hope this is better. So let me know if you want me to reduce the sounds further. Alright, so if we do the before takeoff checklist, run-up procedure, parking brake sets, alright, we can skip those. Let's go to the before takeoff. Fuel quantity is checked. Fuel booster pumps are checked. Rudder trim tabs are set. Flight instruments are checked. Radio, propellers are full forward. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. I hope that they fix this, but every time you go escape and come back, you lose your engines. So we're gonna have to start them again now. Much better. All right, thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Now we have the second engine starting. Alright, if we go to, we need the strobe lights, and that's pretty much it. Go to the landing lights. And we're good to go. Yeah, I hope that they fix this problem. But every time you hit the escape button and come back, your fuel levers will be off, and then you have to. It happened to me a couple of times mid-flight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for departure. What a beautiful sight. All right, we're good to go. We're going to give it power. We're going to rotate it about 80 knots. 80 knots, rotate. Beautiful departure out of Edinburgh. Beautiful scenery by Orbex. And we continue our climb. Please let me know if the engine sounds are still too loud. Way too loud, is it? Alright, let's go back to the thing is, if we, alright, let's see. Alright. Let me know if this is better. So I've reduced the desktop audio, so this should help. Alright. I think that should be better. Let me know if this has helped. I just changed the desktop audio from within Streamlabs OBS, so please let me know if this is better now. If not, then we will go ahead and turn it down in the sim again. Much better. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we are climbing now through 3,300 for 8,000. All's looking good here. And if we look at the, I love steam gauges. If you look at the gauges here, we are good. Engine temperature is good. Everything, RPM is good. And all's looking good here. Right, let's take a look at the external view. What a beautiful looking scene. Just look at those clouds. Wow. I have no clue what the aircraft is doing, but it's doing some funny things there. Definitely doing very funny maneuvers there. But it's on the correct flight path now. Right, 6,000 to 1,000 feet to go. Now, I'm not sure if the aircraft actually, reacts to icing conditions. It doesn't seem like it does. You gotta love the cloud smoothing here as it goes through the clouds. I don't think that it actually reacts to icing conditions, but I'm not sure. You guys maybe can correct me. Do you get micro stutters with your PC specs? I do not get any stutters whatsoever, so if you are seeing any stutters, it's probably the Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs OBS, by the way, generally speaking, does take a lot of CPU power, but overall, I am very pleased with Sim Update 7, and I can actually now fly any aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator without any stuttering. It's pretty smooth and just really lovely experience, and you can really enjoy scenes such as this one where you have all those lovely clouds around you with the beautiful ground scenery. Just absolutely fantastic. Sometimes it doesn't capture the altitude. Oh, really? Yeah, so overall, so far from takeoff to, first of all, to me is a big no-no that an aircraft ships with bugs like, you know, like the one we've experienced when we hit the escape. So I think in terms of quality control, this aircraft was not tested properly before release, one. The engine sounds are not so great. So it's alright, but they're not great. The inside is acceptable, the outside is not acceptable at all. I just don't like the sounds in the outside of the aircraft. The engine sounds, the exterior sounds are not well made in my view, and they need a little more work. But again, the aircraft is well modeled. The cockpit, the 3D model, all the texturing, the cockpit sounds and the overall ambient sounds are done quite well. The sounds of the switches are done quite well. So we are now at 8,000. Looks like it went over a little bit. It's kind of correcting itself now. And wow, look at that scene, ladies and gentlemen. Microsoft Flight Simulator is fantastic. And I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer of the Airbus A330 in X-Plane 12, but it looks wow. I'm really, really excited about it. We need to set speed, cruise speed. So let me just lower the speed. Again, I think this is not very accurate. So when you retard the throttles, just the speed drops so quickly. I'm not sure if this is realistic or not, but it doesn't sound right to me. But again, I'm not a Twin Otter pilot, so I don't know. But overall, it's a fun aircraft to fly, I would have to say. Is it study level? No, it is not, for sure. Is it worth its price? Well, in my view, the aircraft is in a reasonable price range, considering the work that's gone through the modeling of the aircraft and making it to the standard that it is today in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think it is worth its price. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it just as much as I would recommend the Quest Kodiak or the CRJ. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend this aircraft if you don't have the Quest Kodiak, for example, or if you're interested in this airframe specifically, then I would recommend it. But don't expect anything out of the ordinary with this aircraft. To me, the Quest Kodiak and the Just Fly Piper range of aircraft are far more successful, I think, as really an enjoyable aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator than this Twin Otter, but that's just me. Again, you don't have to agree with me, but those are my thoughts. I know a Twin Otter pilot and he likes it apart from the sound issues. Well, that's great to hear. Forgive me if this has already been asked. Do we have a rear view? You mean rear view of the aircraft or the cabin? So if you are talking about the cabin, so this is the cabin, and we can go and take a look. We've done this at the beginning of the video, but yeah, I mean, it looks good, reasonably textured. I like all the details, all the panel work. Yeah, it's pretty good. Here's a look again at the external view of the Twin Otter by Aerosoft. Right, so we are at 8,000 feet. What we can do is we can bring up our GTN 750, and I just love using this this device here. And if we go to the map, we can see exactly where we're going. If we go to the flight plan, so if I click here and go to flight plan. So again, we know exactly where we're going there. And this is basically runway 23, center fix, final fix for runway 23 at Moscow. We're doing an ILS runway 23, and we can also consult Navigraph for the ILS frequency, which is 110.10. And we can set that here, and it will automatically set it for the aircraft. So 110.10. 110.10, and transfer that. Just really handy. I like this a lot. And if we go to the flight plan and we click on Moscow, so here, we click on, there's the airport information, select airport briefing. No, that's just the charts. Yeah. Oh well. That's okay, we're looking good. Now, one thing that is useful in, again, I'm not sure why it's flying away from the waypoint. But it looks like it's doing its own thing now. Worry about that in a minute. But it looks like it's doing some strange things. Alright, so here's what we're going to do now. If we go to the flight plan, it will give you the altitude. So we actually need to begin descending to 3,000 feet. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to remove this. And we are going to set this to 3,000 feet. Okay, and we are going to begin the descent. So to do this, we are going to come down here and altitude. And we'll descend at about 1,000 feet per minute. We're going to ease off on the throttle a bit. Is there a way of integrating the GTN 750 into the panel? Hey, Hart, how are you doing, my friend? Good evening to you. I do like the Twin Otter in X-Plane, and this one actually looks, yeah, it looks pretty good. It's a good aircraft to have. It's fun to fly. It's enjoyable. But to me, it's no different than the Quest Kodiak in the way it flies. But yeah, I do recommend this aircraft. It does receive my seal of approval, and I probably give it a final score of 7 out of 10, considering the bugs and the issues that it had on release, as well as the fact that all of the aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator will have points deducted for not having a proper control panel, which this one doesn't have. Doesn't have any static elements, and anything like that. So definitely points are taken off there. Overall, it flies okay. The sounds are not so good outside the aircraft. The engine sounds, that is. The cockpit sounds are quite nice. But a 7 out of 10, I think, is a fair and square score for this aircraft. The aircraft is definitely going somewhere else other than where it should. Again, if we look here, let me see if we can correct this. I'm gonna go ahead and set the heading. Alright, let's switch to heading. And let's see if we can correct this. And it looks like visibility is going to be an issue as we approach Glasgow. Alright, so what we can do at this point is we can go to the procedure, and as you can see, we can say activate the approach. Doing all kinds of strange things. Let's try to click on nav now. Right, looks like that has worked. Right, we're coming up to 3,000 feet. It looks like we have some really violent weather at Glasgow. Right, let's set this to 2,900, which is the altitude that we saw in the Navigraph charts. Jonathan tried X-Plane 11 with some freeware like Ortho4X PhD Mesh, Reshade, and some other free plugins. X-Plane gives me a much more real sense of flying. What do you think between all these platforms? Honestly, I do agree with you there, Jonathan, that X-Plane does provide a much more realistic feeling as far as flying is concerned. It feels more realistic, definitely. The movement of the aircraft, the flight model, generally speaking, is much better in X-Plane 11 than it is in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think it goes without saying for all the aircraft. But I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is definitely making steps in the right direction. The developers of the platform are definitely making the right steps. So I am glad to see all the development with this platform, and just we hope to see more in the future. We know the PMDG 737 development is unstuck now, so I'm quite happy about that. And what we can do now, folks, is we can set the heading. Let's see here. Let's set the heading here. And we're not too far from the airport. That's the airport, by the way, right here. And that's the runway we're landing at. So what we're going to do now is we are going to switch to V-lock and approach. Set the course. There we go. Let's see what the aircraft does now.
Terrain.
Looks like we have some really violent winds here as we come into land. But we can see the glide slope needle there. But I'm not sure that the aircraft is on the right path to the runway. Because if we look here, well, maybe we are. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright, let's go ahead and reduce our speed a little bit. Oops. There we go. Any way to hide or move your tip and subscriber window? Oh yes, of course. Let's see here. Oh, it's bugging you guys, I can see. Alright, let's see here. There we go. Right, hold on now. Alright, let's start reducing our speed. Looks like it's raining in Glasgow. And the unfortunate thing, by the way, is that the wipers don't actually do anything. They don't affect the rain or the raindrops. So there we go. Right, looks like we've captured the localizer and the glide slope, and the aircraft seems to be now descending. And unfortunately, the visibility is really, really bad as we approach the runway here at Glasgow. But hopefully we'll be able to see the runway, and hopefully not too late. By the way, landing lights are on. All is good there. Just look at that, man. We can't absolutely see nothing. Hopefully we'll subside as we come into land. Looks like we are on the localizer and the glide slope right now. By the way, this device, the GTN 750 I'm using, is that of PMS 50, and I highly recommend it. And if you don't want to pay for it, that's perfectly okay. You can always get it for free. Some features will not be available, but I think it's a good It's a good device to have. It's a good add-on to have for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Right, we continue our descent towards the runway. I still can't see a thing. I can barely see what's in front of me there, but I cannot see the airport as of yet. But we are on the glide slope and on the localizer. Right, we're going to begin reducing our speed now. And speed check, we're going to set flaps. And we're going to take it to about 100 knots. And I still can't see anything. We're at about 800 feet now. And all I have is the instruments, but I can't see anything. I'm not sure why the aircraft is dipping so fast. 500 feet, I still can't see a thing. I think that might be the runway, I'm not sure. But yeah, that looks like it's the runway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to disengage the autopilot now. And I think that's the runway. It is the runway. Alright, so let's disengage the autopilot and my aircraft. We are a bit too low. Alright, speed is okay. Now we have the runway in sight. What a beautiful looking approach. Just the rain, so immersive in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright, reduce our speed, 2 whites, 2 reds. We're looking good. A little bit of crosswind there. And but we're looking okay.
Minimums.
See crosswind. 100 feet.
Light slow. 50. Light slow. 40. Light slow. 30. Light slow. 20. 10.
And touchdown. Welcome to Glasgow, ladies and gentlemen, where the visibility is virtually none. We can't really see anything, but nonetheless, I think we've made it safely there. FPM minus 150. What is the map on the lower left? The map on the lower left. Oh, that was PMS. That's the GTN 750 device. It's by PMS50.com, and it is available in both a subscription, a full paid or lifetime paid, or 1 year, something like that, or free version. The free version there are a few features that are not available in the free version, but it works pretty well. So I highly recommend it. And if you don't want to make an investment in it, that's totally okay. You can always, opt for the free version of the GTN 750 by PMS50.com. Welcome to Glasgow, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely is so much fun to be able to come back and stream to you guys. And my final remarks, by the way, the night lighting in this aircraft is really done very well, I must say. And so I will confirm my rating of this aircraft as 7 out of 10 That's my overall assessment. I do recommend this aircraft, so it does receive the Q8 pilot seal of approval. If you are looking for something different, something fun, it's definitely a beautiful airframe to fly in the sim, and I do recommend it. You will enjoy this aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, just like you would enjoy the Quest Kodiak and the Just Flight Piper aircraft. All right, let's bring the aircraft to a complete stop here, and we're going to set the parking brake. And let's see here. First thing we can do is we are going to bring those props back. And kill the fuel. And we can come over here and turn off the generators, turn off the lights, fasten seatbelt signs, taxi strobes, pitot heat is off, and finally we can turn off the battery switches. And there we go. The aircraft is back in its cold and dark state, and I'm not sure what it's doing there. All right, let's reset the view. And what we can do is go to right there. Go all the way to the back. Open the aircraft door. And there you have it. There you go. Absolutely fun flight from Edinburgh to Glasgow. And I tell you, I really am starting to like Microsoft Flight Simulator quite a bit. I'm enjoying the weather representation and all the new add-ons that are coming. I don't think that we still have a very high fidelity aircraft except for the PMDG DC-6. I do like, though, a lot the Just Flight Pipers. I do like the SimWorks Studios Kodiak, Quest Kodiak, and I do like this aircraft, but I don't feel that it offers anything different from the Quest Kodiak, to be very frank. It's a nice plane to have. The Twin Otter is a beautiful airframe to fly. It is fairly well modeled and textured. The sounds need some work. I will be sure to get the latest patch, and we'll do more flights with this aircraft, and we will be doing, of course, more content with Microsoft Flight Simulator in the near future. Paul, the wipers work but don't clear. Right, exactly right. Yeah, so that's what I meant. External view, please. We are now in external view. In fact, here's what I'll do, guys. I'm going to clear the weather, and if we clear the weather, you should be able to see this aircraft's beautiful textures more clearly. And as you can see now here, this is just really a fantastic looking aircraft in terms of its 3D model, and all the texturing just really looks fantastic. And one that receives the Q8 pilot seal of approval with a final score of 7 out of 10. Right, folks, this is pretty much it for E-Boss. Nice flight, sir. Dropped a like and wish you all the good one. Well, thank you very much, sir. I wish you the very best, my friend. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and for all the support, for your kind words, and for tuning into the stream. So I'll see you guys all next time. Until next time, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.